Hi students, welcome back to today's class. Today we are going to see about cyber safety, that is chapter 15. Under chapter 15 already we have discussed about introduction to confidentiality of information, and now we are going to see to the following topics. Okay, that is 15.6 cyber crime, and then computer forensics, cyber law and IT act, common social networking sites, and then appropriate usage of social networks. So how we can make use of the social networks, how it will be useful. So all these topics we are going to discuss in the today's class. Okay, so let me move on to the topic called as cyber crime. Okay, so what are all criminal activities are done under the on the online, that we will see one by one. Okay, so cybercrime is any criminal offense that is facilitated by or involves the use of. Okay, so that is going to use the cybercrime is the any criminal offense that is involving the use of electronic communications or information systems, including any electronic device. Okay, so whatever electronic device we are able to use, like mobile phone or laptop or computer or a palm top. Okay, so all these electronic devices if we are using, okay, or the internet, and we are making criminal activities, then that is known as cyber crime. Okay, so it is any criminal offense that is facilitated by or involves the use of electronic communications or information systems, including any electronic device, computer or the internet. The term cybercrime is a general term that covers crimes like, so what all crimes are covered by the cybercrime means, first one is phishing. So all these cyber criminal activities, so the computer related activities, electronic devices or computer or internet, if you are making use and if you are making following criminal activities, no, then that is known as cybercrime. Okay, so phishing is one type of criminal activity, and then credit card frauds, and then illegal downloading, and then industrial espionage, child pornography, cyber bullying, cyber stalking, cyber terrorism, creation and or distribution of viruses and spam, and so on. So these are the activities which are taken place in the form of in the through what internet or the computer or use of electronic devices. All these activities are done, so that's it's known as cybercrime. Okay, so what is cybercrime? Any criminal offense that is facilitated by or involves, that is involving, that is making use of the electronic communications or information systems, including any electronic device, computer or the internet, is referred to as cybercrime. Okay, so now we will see one by one what are all criminal activities are done in the cybercrime. Okay, so first one is cyber trolls or and bullying. So cyberbullying we will see in the next one. Cyber troll means what? It refers to a person. Troll means it can be a person. Cyber troll refers to a person who purposely post. So it's a person who will do this activity. Okay. So refers to a person who purposely posts opposing, sarcastic, demeaning, and insulting comments about something or someone with an aim of targeting a person online. So in a internet or in a social media, if one person is purposely, that is in a, with some aim or with some motto, he is posting opposing words, comments, okay, and then sarcastic, that is disrespectful, and demeaning. Okay, so that insulting comments and all, if anyone about anyone or about any thing, okay, if they are posting on the online, then that is known as cyber troll. Okay, so the provocative messages. Provocative means what? That message, if the message or the comments, if any person is seeing that, okay, if he is getting angry by seeing that, then that is called a provocative messages only. So making anger. Okay, so the provocative messages posted this way are also called a troll. Okay, so which with an aim of with an intention, if we are insulting other persons through online by posting some comments or some kind of messages, no, then that is known as cyber trolling. Okay, so the word troll can refer to a person also who is doing it. Okay, so who is doing this kind of activity, that person only known as troll. Okay, and it may refers to the derogatory comments posted by a troll. So it may also refers to the comments also. So which kind of derogatory comments? Derogatory means what? Disrespectful, demeaning, sarcastic, insulting, like that we are saying, we said no. So that is only known as derogatory comments, disrespectful comments posted by a troll. So trolling is a cyber crime and is closely related to cyberbullying. In fact, it is a form of cyberbullying. So cyber trolling is a form of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying also is a kind of activity when someone uses communication systems or electronic media uh, to insult some persons. Okay, so this will happen in some other format. Okay, so that also we will see what is meant by cyberbullying. Okay, so cyber trolls means what? Derogatory messages or comments posted online targeting people. Posted online and it is targeting and the people are called as cyber trolls. Next we will see cyber bullying. It occurs when someone uses the internet, a cell phone. That is why we discussed electronic devices, any kind of electronic devices like internet or cell phone or email, instant messaging, chat rooms, social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Okay, to harass. Okay, to harass, to demean. Okay, uh, demean means what? Losing their dignity. Okay, their self-respect they will lose. Okay, so harassing or demeaning or embarrassing. Okay, embarrassing. Uh, and then intimidate someone else. Okay, intimidate someone else is known as making them to get fear. Okay, that is frighten. Intimidate means what? Frighten someone else with the help of our messages. Okay, so it is commonly a crime committed by a teens too. That is, teenage people also will do like this. Okay, they will be cornering some one particular person, and that person will not be involving in their group. So like that, and all if we are making fun or comment about any persons, no, that is only known as cyberbullying. That will be happening in online internet or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, like that. Any social media, if you are making comments on making fun of others or ostracize others. Okay, ostracize means what? We are excluding them, so we are not including in our group, we are excluding purposely, we are neglecting them. So that kind of activities will harass them. Okay, will make them feel hurt them a lot. Okay, so that kind of activity is known as only cyberbullying. So it is closely related to cyber trolling also. Okay, and it is commonly a crime committed by teens too, as their grow access to electronic communication makes it possible to make fun or ostracize others. Okay, ostracize means to exclude others. Okay, the problem spreads like a wildfire. So if one person is forwarding that kind of comments, or if he or she is seeing that comment, and if she or he is forwarding that insulting messages to other people in their group or in their friends group, so automatically what will happen? The person who is uh, insulted, no, so he'll again he'll get what? Some kind of harassment he'll get. Okay, or some kind of hurting he will get again. Okay, so the problem spreads like wildfire as the bully can hide behind the anonymity of a login identity while encouraging other kids to join in the fun of harassing the victim. So victim is a person who is injured. Okay, so to whom we are making these messages, okay, about whom we are making these messages, that person only known as victim. Okay, so that is the injured person. Okay, harassed person. Okay, so that person, no, will be harassed by these kind of messages. And the bully, no, bully means a person who is making this activity. Okay, so that bully can hide behind the anonymity of a login identity. Okay, so he may think that because of this login identity or others login identity also he may use. Okay, in order to post those kind of demeaning messages and all. Okay, so cyberbullying is a crime. Garnering, the garnering means collecting or gathering. Okay, gathering such criminal charges as harassment. Okay, libel means false statements he'll make about the victim. And assault means continuously criticizing the others. Okay, that is only known as assault, continuously criticizing others. Okay, we are making others to what feel very ashamed about them. Okay, and then even terrorism. Okay, even terrorism, all these activities and all collectively, if you are doing that, is known as cyberbullying. Okay, and making false statements about others and harassments and criticizing continuously, and even terrorism also comes under the cyberbullying. In addition to the criminal charges, cyberbullies may be held responsible for the damage they do in a civil lawsuit, where they may be ordered to pay for it. So they need to pay for it if they are doing these kind of activities in a continuous way. Okay, so what is cyberbullying? Harassing, demeaning, or embarrassing, defaming, or intimidating, that is making them to get fear. someone using the modern technologies like internet, cell phones, instant messengers, social networks is called a cyber bullying. You can see here in cyber trolls, derogatory messages, that is making the other person to making the victim to get angry. Okay, that is only derogatory messages are comments posted online targeting people. But here, harassing, demeaning, embarrassing, defaming, or intimidating someone using modern technologies is known as cyberbullying. Okay, next, what is cyber stalking? So this is the kind of online harassment wherein the victim means a person harmed or injured. Okay, is subjected to a barrage of online messages and emails. That is, he will go and he'll block the online messages and emails whatever he gets. Okay, so like that mind if you are making, then that is known as online harassment, that is cyber stalking. Okay, it's a kind of online harassment wherein the victim is subjected to barrage of online messages and emails. Barrage means blocking or preventing of online messages and emails to his inbox. Okay, so typically these stalkers know their victims, and instead of resorting to offline stalking, resorting means instead of adopting to offline stalking, offline means in a real time, without using internet, without using electronic medias and all, straight away if he is doing like that, okay, then that is known as offline stalking. They use the internet to stalk. Okay, so these stalkers know their victims, and instead of resorting, so instead of using offline stalking, they use the internet to stalk, that is online. So cyber stalker relies upon the anonymity afforded by the internet, because the internet, if we are using the who is making this kind of messages, if the victim is not able to recognize means, then that will be a big advantage for them. Okay, for a stalker. So cyber stalker relies upon the anonymity offered by, anonymity means who is doing those kind of activities, that will not be known to the victim. Okay, so without knowing the name of the person or face of the person, so that is only known as anonymity. Okay, cyber stalker relies upon the anonymity offered by the internet to allow them to stalk their victim without being detected. That means victim will not know who is doing this, and he will not able to recognize which person and what is whether he is a male or female, like that he cannot able to find out, victim cannot able to find out that kind of person only known as cyber stalker. So cyber stalker often do this to trouble their victims. Okay, so they collect all personal information about the victim, such as their name. So victim name, stalker, what he will do, he will be collecting that to which person he want to make messages or some continuous messages he want to send now. So that victim's name, family background, telephone numbers of residents, okay, that home telephone numbers, and workplace telephone numbers, and daily routine, which route he is going, that routine work of victim, and routine route of the work victim, address of the residence, and the place of the work, date of birth, everything he'll collect. Okay, stalker will collect. So the stalker may post this kind of information on any filthy or obscene or illegal websites. So like phone numbers and all, if you once get no phone number or any photographs or the date of birth or some kind of things about sensitive information of one particular victim, if he is collecting, if the stalker is posting those information on a filthy, that is dirty, indecent, illegal websites and all, if he is posing that, then as if the victim is posting this information, so he will be posting, stalker actually will be posting the information of the victim. But the persons who are using that illegal sites or filthy sites and all, know, they'll be knowing that the victim only is posting that information. So that kind of thing the stalker may do. Okay, so he'll collect all the victim's information and he will post, and he will present that as if the victim is posting that information. Okay, so people of all kind of from nook and corner of the world, okay, every part of the world, okay, who come across this information, start calling the victim at his residence or her residence or workplace for many filthy, obscene reasons. So dirty reasons and all, they will be making call to those victims. Okay, some stalkers subscribe the email account of the victim. Okay, to innumerable obscene or illegal sites. So they will be subscribing the email account of the victim in unwanted websites and all. Okay, so because of which victim starts receiving such kind of unsolicited emails, that is spam mails, unwanted mails, and all, victim continuously will get. Okay, so some stalkers keep on sending repeated emails, okay, asking for various kinds of favors or threaten the victim. So if you should do like you should give some such kind of amount if if you don't want to post some kind of messages or images on the internet. Okay, so like that and all, they'll be harassing. Okay, so repeated emails they'll send, and they'll ask for some kind of favors and all. Okay, so through that they will be threatening the victim. Stalkers may be threatening the victim. Stalkers follow their victim from board to board. They hang out on the same social networking site as their victim, many times posting notes to the victim, making sure the victim is aware that he is being followed or not. So victim is regularly checking messages or mails that will be checked by the stalkers. Okay, so continuously they'll be monitoring. Stalkers will be monitoring the victim's activities. Okay, in the online. Stalkers will almost always make contact with their victims through email, having friendly or threatening content. Okay, so with the some kind of contents, and they will be sharing either through emails or through phone calls. They'll be talking like friendly manner, and they may threaten also, many times using multiple names. So different names, they'll be calling different from different numbers and different email accounts. They'll be sending messages to the victim to threaten them. Okay, so this is only known as cyber stalking. Okay, and next is spreading rumors online. Okay, so rumors also is a kind of what cyber bullying or cyber trolling activity only. Okay, so people often think that they can make fake profile. Okay, so that fake profile they can create with some different name and do anything online and will not be caught. Okay, so people like that, they are thinking, some people are thinking like this. Okay, so we can create fake profile with some different names, and we can do anything, no one will notice us, and we will not be caught by any person. So like that, many persons they may be thinking. Okay, so we should not do like that. Okay, so through such fake profiles, people sometimes indulge in posting false information, that is demeaning informations on social media, or comments that could hurt others, or spread rumors that may trigger panic or hurt religious sentiments and all. They'll be uh, getting. Okay, hurting religious sentiments and all. The victim will get. Okay, so of other people, resulting into clashes and even riots also. Riots means what? Violence. Okay, some kind of violence, or caste wise or religion wise fights and all may occur inside the country. Okay, so that we should not do. We should not post any kind of false information on the social media. Okay, and spreading rumors online is a cyber criminal activity and is punishable offense. Okay, so if you want to discuss about anything about any person, you can straight away talk to that person, and you can say face to face. Okay, so instead of using online or any kind of communication medias, no, then that will be a proof for them to make a criminal activity, to file a case against you. Okay, then spreading rumors online is a cyber crime and is punishable offense. Okay, so as per the Information Technology Act of India, okay, IT Act of India, publishing or circulation of rumors, especially hurting religious sentiments, is a cyber criminal activity, and it may invite a fine with an imprisonment extendable up to 3 years. So you'll be put in a jail for 3 years with along with the fine also. So you should not do all these kind of rumors, spreading rumors online, or any kind of comments. You should not post about any person either in a positive way or in a negative way. Okay, and next is online fraud. So fraud committed using internet is called online fraud. So whatever fraudulent activities they are doing with the help of internet, then that is known as online fraud. Online fraud may occur in many forms, such as non-delivered goods. So like if you are ordering in Amazon or Flipkart or Naptol. Okay, so if the goods whatever you have ordered, no, it is not delivered. Okay, then they may be using your cash. Okay, using credit or debit card if you have purchased that good, and if it is not reached to your home on the particular date, then that is called as fraudulent activity only, online fraud. Okay, and non-existent companies. Okay, so for some period of time the websites may be running, and after that they may close after collecting some amounts from some customers. No, they will be closing that websites, and they'll not pick the call, and they'll change the number whichever is posted in their websites. So all these kind of activities are called fraudulent activity only, online fraud through websites. If they are collecting the amounts, like financial institutions, if they are running, through the websites. Okay. And then stealing information of others, okay, their personal informations and all, if they are stealing, then that is also called as online fraud, and selling to other persons. And fraudulent payments like credit card frauds, that under comes under this fraudulent payments. Okay. So while the first two types of frauds, that is non-delivered goods and non-existent companies, can be countered by setting up official bodies. Okay. So how we can protect this or prevent this kind of two fraudulent activities means, we can set up the official bodies. Okay. Ensuring the validity of e-commerce companies. So how long this company will run, so what about the products of the company, from where they are getting the goods. Okay. So all these kind of things should be monitored by some kind of official bodies. Then this kind of fraudulent activities can be controlled, okay, countered. And promised delivery of goods. The last two types of frauds are more frightening only, stealing information and fraudulent payments. The examples of such frauds includes, okay, the last two types frauds, includes credit card frauds and identity theft. So stealing of information means what? So they will be using one person's login password and all. So through that they may be getting your personal information. So like bank officials, email ID, if they come to know, no, any fraudulent person, if he is able to uh, come to know that the mail ID and password of one bank official, then through that person's mail ID and password, he may send some messages like you need to pay some amount in this counter. So like that, so you may get mails. Okay, you should not reply for those kind of mails. Instead, you should straight away go to bank and you can ask to that official person. Okay, or else you can make a phone call to that person and you can inquire. Okay, so you should not reply for any kind of links in the emails also, that we will see later on in the upcoming topics. Okay. So the examples of such frauds includes credit card frauds and identity theft. In credit card frauds, the credit card details of the users are stolen from his or her online activities. Okay, we may be using credit cards in order to buy some goods or items or paying some bills. Okay, so those times we'll be entering all our details through the website only. So if that website is uh, hacked by some persons, so they'll be coming to know our details. Okay, so if our online activities are checked means, and then some payment frauds are carried out with this stolen information. So some kind of payments can be done with the help of the frauds, and because of this stolen information. So because the frauds, no, they will be stealing our information, and through that they'll make a payment also. Okay. So the identity theft is also very scary. Okay, very fear, making very fear. Okay. So by stealing someone else online identity, like social media handles or email ID, anything, if they are stealing, no. So the fraudulent posts are posted, or some other malicious or dangerous activities such as rumor mongering or riots fueling is carried out. Okay, so like this kind of activities may happen if he is stealing the online identity means. Okay. And the measures to stop these frauds may include monitoring official body. So continuous official bodies monitoring official body that ensures that the sanctity of e-commerce company. So how long that e-commerce company will run, and what is their benefits, and what kind of profits they are getting, and loss what they are facing. All those things needs to be analyzed, monitored by the official body, and whether they are delivering goods properly, whether how many complaints they are receiving, that the e-commerce company is receiving a lot of complaints means, that should be monitored immediately by that official body. Okay, services, whether they are providing properly according to their promise or not, everything need to be checked by this official body. Okay, so by this kind of method we can stop the first two frauds. Okay. Fraudulent activities, that is non-delivered goods and non-existent companies. And then strong security mechanisms by the e-commerce site and payment gateways to prevent stealing of crucial information. So because through this e-commerce site only we may using our credit card or debit card, so that details should not be leaked to any unwanted hands. Okay, it should not be given to any unwanted hands. So that also should be monitored and checked. Okay, and then official guidelines and safeguards on the selling of users data to the third parties. Okay, so to third party or any persons, if they are asking the e-commerce site to give their details, give the customer details, their phone number and their home address, all those things, no, they should not give. So for that, some kind of guidelines and safeguards they need to set in the e-commerce site. Okay, so all these things should be monitored by the official body. And next one is information theft. So under cybercrime, we have next one is information theft. So when you're working in online, you often enter the information related to payments and even about your home address also while shopping. Yes. So we are doing that. If the product need to be delivered to our home means we need to enter our phone number, our details, everything fully we need to give. This information must be safe and must not fall into wrong hands. One should be careful while working on online as there are many ways through which thieves can obtain our personal information. So phishing is a kind of activity, is a practice of attempting to acquire. It is a kind of practice of attempting, trying to acquire, trying to get sensitive information from individuals over the internet by means of deception. That is by means of cheating. So some kind of techniques they will be making in order to get our sensitive information. Okay, so information typically targeted by phishing schemes includes passwords, usernames, bank account information, social security numbers, all those things they'll be getting from the person. Okay, so the term phishing is a play on fishing. So when we want to catch a fish, so different cheating techniques we will be applying in order to catch the fish. No, the same method in the fishing also, in online fishing also, the person who will do it. Okay, hackers use various forms of bait in order to catch a victim. So victim is like a fish, and a person who is catching that fish is known as a hacker here. Okay, so hacker uses various forms of bait deception methods in order to catch a victim. Okay, so phishing is a practice of attempting to acquire the sensitive information, trying to get the sensitive information from individuals over the internet by means of deception mean what? Some kind of cheating technique they will be applying. So it is a criminally fraudulent process of attempting to acquire sensitive information such as username, passwords, credit card information, account data, etc. In phishing, an imposter uses an authentic looking email. Okay, so imposter, that is a person, hacker. Okay, so he will be using authentic looking email. So or website or to trick the recipients into giving out the sensitive personal information. So they will be using genuine website like websites they'll be creating, and authentic looking email they'll be using for collecting our sensitive information. For example, you may receive an email from your bank asking to update your information online by clicking at the specified link in the email. Okay, so though it appears genuine, you may be taken to a fraudulent site where all your sensitive information is obtained and later it is used for cyber crimes and frauds. Okay, so that we should avoid. So whenever we get email from bank, we need to read thrice or twice, and then only we need to make a call to the bank, and we after that we can update the information. Okay, social engineering and pretexting. Okay, so this is also one kind of criminal activity. That means they pose as a legitimate business or government officials to obtain. So they will be presenting. Pose means what? Presenting. They will be presenting them as a good business and government officials. Okay, so they will be presenting them straight away. They will be coming, or they will be talking to you over phone. Okay, over electronic media. Okay, so they'll be saying like they are the persons who's properly working in government office or any legitimate business they are doing, like that they'll be saying to you, and they may collect your personal information from financial institutions or telephone companies and other sources. So this is only known as social engineering or pretexting. Okay, and now we can see how phishing attacks are carried out here. Okay, so fraudsters, what they will do, they'll build a fake website. Okay, once they start building the fake website, then they send out thousands of phishing emails with a link to fake website. Okay, so if we are clicking that link, it will be taking us to that fake website. Then in that website we will enter all our sensitive information. Okay, victims, what they will do, victims means the person who is going to use that link, okay, who received that mail. So the victims click on that link in that email believing it is a legitimate means it's a genuine one or good one. They enter their personal information, victim will enter the personal information. Finally, what the fraudsters will do, they'll compile the stolen data. So whatever data, sensitive data we have entered there, everything is compiled means it will be segregated together, okay, merged together, and sell it online or use it themselves. So they'll be using that personal information, or they'll be selling it to another persons also, okay, for getting some amount. Okay, next is scam is also a kind of fraudulent activity only. So it is any fraudulent business practice that extracts money from an unsuspecting or ignorant person is called a scam. Okay, so like cheating for goods only, for ordering goods only, so that is a kind of scam only. So any fraudulent business practice that extract money from an unsuspecting or ignorant person is called a scam. These days the internet has become another primary source of scams. Okay, so scams committed over the internet are called online scams. Okay, so we'll see one example related to the scam activity. So Nalini wanted to gift her friend a customized bracelet, okay, whose pictures she saw of a photo sharing website. Okay, so that bracelet picture, no, where she saw means the photo sharing website, one website she was seeing that. Okay, and that listed the design and cost of customization. So in order to make that design and make that bracelet, no, so how much cost, everything they have listed out. And the Milan Lily happily transferred an advanced payment. Okay, so advanced payment she paid as rupees 2450 to the account mentioned on the site. So which number, which rupees they have mentioned on the site, no, and which account they have mentioned, no, to that account she has transferred that amount. Okay, and was promised a date of delivery. So in that website they have promised also which date that the bracelet will be delivered to her. But to her shock, the gift never arrived. Even after repeated calls to that website, she only had a promise that it could be delivered soon. And suddenly the website was account was deleted from the photo sharing website. The website account where from where it was deleted, that photo sharing website, from that it was deleted suddenly, and even the numbers went dead. Okay, so like that one incident that occurs, then this is a kind of online scam activity only. Okay, so how to avoid these online scams? Okay, so important things to keep in mind while using the internet to avoid scam, including the following: never enter the personal information or any financial information like banking information or credit debit card information on unsecure websites. That is the website who should which it should start with https. Okay, with that it should start, otherwise padlock symbol should be there, lock symbol should be there. Okay, that is the sites that do not employ https and do not have a padlock sign. Never reply to emails from any unknown or unreliable source, and then never click on any links that you have received in your email, even if you know the sender. Rather than open a browser window and type the URL yourself and then clicking on the link in the email. Okay, and then never respond to an email or advertisement claiming you have won something. So you have won this much amount. Even nowadays we are getting lot of messages daily, at least one or two messages we are receiving in our messages inbox. Okay, so we should never respond and we should never call to those people. Okay, so never respond to an email, because nobody will give even 10 rupees or 100 rupees with the free way. Okay, so we should not believe those kind of statements, and we should not call to them back, or we should not get go to that website and we should not enter any information. Okay, never respond to an email or advertisement claiming you have won something. Okay, and next is illegal downloads. This is also one kind of cyber criminal activity. Okay, illegal downloading means what? Either software we can download, or files we can download, or some kind of contents if others have prepared and posted in particular website, that is copyright contents and all, if it is available, we should not download it illegally. Okay, we should pay for that. Okay, so illegal downloading refers to obtaining files for which you don't have the right to use. Okay, or download from the internet. You don't have rights to use some kind of files or softwares which is going to be downloaded from the internet, means that is a kind of what? Illegal downloading only. it is downloading a paid digital item without making any payment. So it is a paid digital item, so we are not paying for it and using an illegal way to download it. Okay, so we are using illegal way to download that content, so that is only known as illegal downloading. For example, if you are downloading a movie which is not available for free download, this is a illegal download. Okay, similarly, downloading a copy of the licensed software by bypassing the legal measures. Okay, bypass method, if you are downloading some legal softwares are also, that is also illegal download only. Okay, most items that are protected under copyright law are available against a payment. So copyright law, whichever contents are available in the website, we should obey those copyright laws and we should make a payment for it in order to get that content. Okay, even maybe images or it may be audio. Okay, so violating this is known as illegal download. If you are violating this, if you are not following that, then that is an illegal download. For example, a movie or photograph or video, etc., is copyrighted in the favor of the creator or owner or producer. So a product is protected by copyright law, cannot be downloaded or copied or reproduced or resold without their permission, without the creator or producer's permission. We should not use it. Okay, so they may file a case against us. Okay, and next one is child pornography. Child pornography means it's defined as any visual or written representation, okay, including images, movies, or text that depict or advocate sexual activity, including sexual molestation and exploitation of anyone under the age of 18. Okay, so this is only known as child pornography. Okay, so the law also includes some child nudity, simulated sex involving children, and any material that is computer doctored to look like a child phone. So Information Technology Act 2000 and Indian Penal Code 1860 provides protection from child pornography. Okay, so these two uh, act no, so they are giving protection from the child pornography. Child is a person who is below the age of 18 years. Okay, according to the new Information Technology Bill, Section 67 has been amended that not only creating and transmitting obscene material, that is, we cannot able to see it, that kind of obscene material in electronic format. Okay, creating and transmitting this kind of material in electronic format, but also to browse such websites is an offense only, is a criminal activity only. Okay, not only creating, transmitting these materials, searching those kind of websites also is a kind of what, criminal activity only by the new law, new Information Technology Bill Section 67. Because due to this law, we should not even browse those kind of child pornographic websites, we should not search it. Okay, next is ransomware. Ransomware is a form of malware, okay, and cyber attack that essentially holds the computer system captive while demanding a ransom. Okay, so that means we will see with some examples now. The ransomware restricts the user access to the computer either by encrypting the files on the hard drive or locking down the systems and displaying the messages that are intended to force the user to pay the ransomware creator to remove the restrictions and again access to their computer. That means our computer will be under the control of one hacker. Okay, so that they will be creating some malware. Okay, with the help of that malware, what will happen means the user or business persons who are using their computers, they will not be able to use their computer. They cannot able to read or open any content also in their computer. So in that case, what the malware will ask to you means, it will be asking you to pay some amount in order to remove that restrictions. Okay, so that is only known as ransomware. It is a kind of cyber attack only. Okay, so they'll be asking you to pay some amount for removing those kind of malwares, okay, from your system. So ransomware not only targets home users, one single user alone it won't target, even businesses also. Businesses can also become infected with ransomware, leading to negative consequences, okay, including temporary loss of sensitive proprietary information. Permanent loss also may happen for the proprietary information. Disruptions to regular operations. So regularly, if they are doing some kind of work in their system, what will happen if the system is getting hanged or it is not allowing you to access that computer? Then what will happen? We cannot able to access any kind of information from the computer. So that kind of disturbance may occur. Okay, and financial losses may incur to restore the systems and files. Okay, financially we need to spend a lot of amount in order to get back our systems and files, okay, in a normal condition. And potential harm to an organization reputation. So organization reputations automatically will get go down, okay. It will be harming, it will be harming potentially. Potential harm to an organization reputation also will happen because of this ransomware. The paying the ransom does not guarantee that encrypted files will be released. It only guarantees that malicious actors receive the victim's money and in some cases their banking information. In addition, decrypting files does not mean the malware infection itself has been removed. Okay, so we cannot 100% believe that the malware infection fully has been removed. Okay, they'll be getting some amount from us and they want to get our banking information, all those things. For that purpose, they'll be blocking our systems. Okay, next is reporting cybercrime. How we can report to the cybercrime? If any cybercrime happens, one must report it firstly to the parents, school authorities, and then to the police. Okay, any kind of cyber stalking, bullying, and cyber trolling, and all we have seen, no, that kind of activities if it happens, okay, and it must be reported immediately to the parents. Okay, for the children, anything happens like that, immediately it should be reported to the parents or school authorities and then to the police. The procedure for reporting cyber crimes is more or less the same as for reporting any other kind of offense, any other kind of criminal activities, how we are uh, compare giving complaints, no, the same manner we need to report to cybercriminal website also. So like other countries, India also has a cyber law enforcement that pertains to all types of cyber crimes. Okay, so this, that is to report to cyber crime. The local police stations can be approached for filing complaints just as the cybercrime cells specially designated with the jurisdiction to the registered complaint. Okay. In addition, provisions have now been made for filing of EFIR, electronic FIR also we can make, and that is in most of the states it has come. Okay, and in addition, the Ministry of Home Affairs, okay, Ministry of Home Affairs, MHA, is also launching a website for registering crimes against the women and children online, including the cyber crimes. Okay, so the Information Technology Act categorically provides that cybercrime has global jurisdiction, meaning that the crime may be reported in the cybercrime units of any city, irrespective of the place where the act was committed. So wherever that act is committed or happened, any cyber criminal activity happened, so you no need to worry about the state or country where you are staying. Okay, so you can make a complaint or report to the cybercrime units of any city irrespective of the place. Okay, so that is a big advantage of this Information Technology Act. Okay, next is computer forensics that we will see in the next video. Thank you.